Story time, and not a good one at that. So if you guys are new to the channel, my name's Jordan. I run this Roast Tires YouTube channel, and for the last 4.5 years, almost 5 years, I've had my sport track build, my full bolt-on build truck, and it's not been perfect. It's been through a lot. A lot of people know a lot of the issues it's had because I've chronicled most of them on the channel, whether it be a misfire, a timing chain rattle, the transmission grading. Unfortunately, that has to come back today. I'm literally filming this same day, so I'm still kind of processing everything. But story time. So I don't have any footage of any of the events I'm about to describe because I was on my way to a family Christmas party with my girlfriend. We were coming back from a family lunch from her house, and we were driving all the way to about an hour out from where she lives. So long drive, and I wasn't recording anything because one, my girlfriend's not necessarily wanting to be on video just yet, and two, because it was a trip to family Christmas party. So we took my truck, and pretty much to kind of give some background, today was quite eventful. But that's kind of, anyway, that was the whole foreground, was that we're on our way to a family Christmas party, which really don't have any footage of this. So woke up this morning and was going to my girlfriend's church because she invited me to go. We were celebrating her birthday late. Her birthday was this past Wednesday. So I went and started the truck this morning to leave, and I noticed something didn't sound right. And we had, me and my dad had figured out that we had cracked an exhaust part somewhere. Either the header had cracked or one of the downpipes had cracked. So we're like, okay, well that's not right. Well, I'll just call the guys that built the exhaust tomorrow. Be good to go, and it'll get fixed. It'll get patched. It'll be set. And that's kind of how the day started. I drove up there, went to the church with our family, went back to her house, ate lunch with her grandparents, and everything was fine and dandy. We started the trip to where my uncle lives for our family Christmas party, and on the way there, I noticed the transmission temps were getting abnormally high. And I was figuring, it's probably stop and go traffic. We were hitting every red light, hitting a ton of traffic because we were going, there's a mall on the way, and two interstates have entrances and exits right there in this city. And so we're sitting there driving through, and the transmission's getting abnormally high, and I already at this point almost been hit by a car that couldn't stay in its own lane. People, if you're driving, pay attention, get off your phones and pay attention to the road. But anyway, we went on our own way, we kept going, and we got onto the interstate. The truck then proceeded to start having some slipping, and it was not acting right. It was not shifting out of first gear. It was acting like anything that could go wrong was going wrong, and it wasn't throwing the OD off light, which was what was bothering me. The computer was like, "Oh yeah, everything's fine," despite the fact my SCT was showing the transmission was spiking to almost 270 degrees. For reference, my transmission at the most will hit 170 to 180. So keeping it's almost 100 degrees hotter than it should be running. And I was like, let's just limp this to my uncle's house. We'll park it, let it rest, and we'll figure this out. We'll figure this out once we can leave and get this thing home. And hopefully it'll be colder, so the transmission cooler will be able to do its thing, and we'll keep this thing nice and chilled. If it has one at all. I don't know if it has a transmission cooler. I know there's an auxiliary cooler on the front. I don't know if it's for oil or transmission fluid. So we get off the interstate, and we get stuck on a hill on a red light, and the truck just doesn't move. It just keeps their free revving, and it starts shuddering and starts barely moving. And look behind me, there's a cloud of blue smoke. And I'm like, okay, that's not good. So we pull into this Taco Bell parking lot, shut the truck off, and it's smoking like a ton, and it's dripping fluid everywhere. It's like you get like a I'm trying to think of a way to describe it, like a water balloon, and you smash it and it spills everywhere. It just leaves this giant puddle behind. That was what was going on. It was like someone had taken a hammer and smashed a water balloon, and that's what was going on with my transmission. So I was like, well, that's not right at all. Let me figure this out. So I called my dad. I was like, hey, transmission just grenaded on me. I'm stuck in this parking lot. Truck's smoking really bad. Little did I know, the truck had actually caught fire. And so throughout this whole thing, my girlfriend is, thankfully, as amazing as she is just sitting there kind of just being chill. Obviously, unnerved a little bit because obviously it's like, how's she getting home now? Thankfully, my parents decided to take 2 cars to this Christmas party. They brought both the Mustang and the Equinox, so we didn't have to worry about that as much. So I got off the phone with my dad, and I wanted to make sure, because I noticed with smoking a lot, I was like, I want to see where this is coming from, where all the smoke's coming from, what happened, and why my transmission is smoldering, and is dripping fluid horribly. So I get in there, pop the hood, and literally, famous last words, my girlfriend is like, be careful, it could be on fire. Pop the hood, sure enough, there is it wasn't like tiny, but it wasn't big fire under the hood. Right by the brake booster and near the firewall, right behind the ignition coil that I spent over $100 on a couple of years ago. So I'm like, crap. My car's on fire. I don't have a fire extinguisher. But thankfully, a bystander, I never got his name or anything, really, really kind person, saw what was going on, ran outside. This dude was a mechanic too, and was like, hey, it looks like, like a transmission light busted, hit your header, and it caught fire. And so I was like, well, that's wonderful. And he went and got the fire extinguisher, put out the fire. I was on the phone with the dispatch for emergency services. They got the fire department out and police and all that stuff, and looked everything over. And they said that the fire was good. It was out. The guy put the fire out while I was on the phone with dispatch, and they were like, okay. I told them, I was like, hey, we think we got the fire out, and they're like, well, we're just gonna make sure. We're gonna send people just in case, just to make sure everything was okay. So they got there, they did their thing, they left pretty shortly after. And that is where kind of everything ends now. The truck is still sitting in that Taco Bell parking lot as we speak, as I'm recording this. And I don't know what I'm going to do, because if it damaged any of the wiring harness, which was literally about the area it was in, there's a very large module for the wiring harness that is right there where the fire was. As well as it might have burned a brake line, it might have scorched, my ignition coil. So there's no telling if I can get it to start at all right now. And so there's no telling how much damage was done. I don't know when the fire first started. Obviously, the smoke was coming from where the fire was, and I noticed it pretty much as soon as we got to that red light and I was trying to move. So I don't know for sure if what exactly happened. We don't have any sort of confirmation on that just yet, but we are working on getting the truck towed back to the Ackworth transmission shop to have them look it over, and they can diagnose everything. And thankfully the transmission's under warranty, so if the transmission is truly dead and is completely unsavable, it's under warranty. I can get it replaced. We'll be gold on that front. But the issue is now, what else got damaged in the fire? Is my brake booster done for? Is my brake lines done for? Am I gonna have brakes to stop this thing? Am I going to have, I have to replace the ignition coil and the spark plug wires? Am I going to have to replace parts of the wiring harness? I mean, there's so much that could go wrong with this, and I'm having a really hard time with it because, money's already been tight this year in general with the pandemic, but now on top of Christmas season, and Christmas season's always a time period where I'm tight on money because I'm buying gifts left and right, this happens. It's been a tough last few weeks. I've been dealing with some personal life issues. I haven't been getting invited around to live events anymore, and I'm kind of been having to function on my own the last few weeks without any sort of interaction outside of my girlfriend and my family, and it's been hard on me. And now this to just kind of top it all off. Thankfully, at the end of the day, me and my girlfriend are safe. I inhaled a little bit of whatever concoction of chemicals was burning. And I was coughing up a lung for like a solid hour after that, and I had to drink like several cups of like sweet tea and water at the party to kind of clear my throat out and be like, oh yeah, I can breathe now, and lots of I've been trying to keep a straight face about it and laugh and make jokes about it. Me and my girlfriend got back here. Like I said, my parents brought 2 cars. We literally sat down to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and something caught fire, and I just was like, oh, too soon, and at the end of the day, one thing that my family members made very clear when I finally got to the party was the truck's replaceable. I'm not. She's not. We're safe, and that's what matters. We're both healthy. None of us got hurt in any sort of regards. And I can tell you for a fact that if something had happened to her, especially, I would never forgive myself, and I would probably kick myself to the day I died over it. And that's just my personality. I don't like putting people in danger, and I've been apologizing to her all night over it, just because it's a dangerous kind of situation. You never know what can happen. There's a lot of flammable fluids in a car, and obviously with transmission fluid being one of them, and a very flammable gas fluid at that. So it's a dangerous situation to be in, and I'm thankful that we're safe, that we're sound, we're solid, we're good to go, health wise. I don't know about my lungs right now, but I don't know what's gonna happen from here. Like I said, the truck's gonna go backward transmissions. They're gonna look it over, see at the transmission side at least, make sure that it's not completely dead and destroyed, which I'm pretty sure it is, judging by how it was acting. And even going there from the damage, we can see, what all is fried, what all is needing to be fixed. And if worse comes to worse, I don't know what could happen, but I'm pretty hesitant to trust it again after that. It's one thing when a transmission blows up, you get it fixed, and it's like, oh, I don't want that happening again. But it should be fine. It's just replaced. It's like, this thing caught on fire, and it's hard to trust something that could have killed you. And that's kind of the situation I'm in, and it's kind of a hard situation to be in too, because it's like, I don't have money to go out and buy a new car. Unfortunately, I'm not the Adam LZs in that Blues of the world, where I have a large amount of income from YouTube and from other business ventures, where I can go and be like, oh, that sucks, the car caught on fire, I can just go get a new one, no big worries. I go to college, I don't work a full-time job. Money's tight around this time of year anyway, and I don't make much money from YouTube at all. So it's like, what am I going to do, So hopefully everything goes well, and I'll know more information later this week. I'll be able to update you guys as this week goes on. But for now, at least, that's kind of what happened. The truck has caught fire, blown its transmission, and cracked a header all within a 12-hour time period. And it's not a fun time for me right now. Like I said, at the end of the day, our girlfriend's safe. I'm safe. We're both happy. We still have each other. We're still safe. We're good. She's not mad at me or anything. Her family's not ticked off at me, hates me now or anything like that, to my knowledge at least. So things seem to be okay. But that's kind of that. I don't know how edited this video will be. I'm almost tempted to upload this as raw footage anyway, just because of the situation. And I'm just not really, after that, I'm just not really in a mood to edit. And I hope you guys can understand that. So I've tried to be a bit more careful about my phrasing today. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed my story time. Hopefully I didn't enjoy my truck bursting into flames. That's not fun. I'll have more information, like I said, later this week. Follow my Instagram, or join the social media pages for more information. I post to those mostly the Instagram. And I will keep you guys updated as time goes on, and once I know more information about this whole thing with the truck. So hopefully it's safe. Hopefully it's salvageable, but it is going to take me a little bit of time to trust it again after this, after it catches fire and could have killed both me and my girlfriend today if things had gone worse than they did. If I hadn't stopped when I did, once I started noticing things, it could have ended horribly. And I'm thankful it didn't, So all that said, I'll catch you guys in the next video, whenever that is, whether it be Friday or Wednesday or whenever I do. This week's uploads, the poll was Monday and Friday, so that might be the schedule I go with from now until I can, get everything straightened out. But that's all. Hope you all enjoyed-ish. I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe. Hope your car doesn't catch on fire like mine did. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.